friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessica and I'm so happy that you could be here today. If you haven't seen my last video where I give you my February TBR and all of the books I plan on reading in February, go ahead and check that out. While you're at it, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you never miss out on any new videos that I post. So since Valentine's Day is right around the corner, what better way to celebrate love than the books that you are reading? Now, for me, I am not a strong romance reader, so I actually do not read a lot of romance books, so this category has always been a struggle for me. You know, I will read the book if it's a good book and I enjoy it, but it's typically not my go-to category. But I'm always open to reading just a good book, even if it has romance in it. So today I'm going to be giving you some romance recommendations, even if you are not a romance reader. These are typically going to be books that maybe not have the romance as the center focal point in the story. It may be a little strange, it may be a little different. This is my personal recommendation, especially since I'm a non-romance reader. So these are going to be all of the book recommendations that have romance in them but aren't necessarily about romance. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. If you want to see all the books that I'm recommending for the romance in your life without being too mushy-gushy, keep on watching. So my first book recommendation is You Had Me at Hola by Alexis Daria. And are we even surprised this is on the list? I mean, really? I've talked about this book so many times on my channel, so I'm not going to dive too deep into it, but this book, I mean, it is very romance-filled, but it is so good. It's super spicy. I love the characters. I think that they're really well developed and they're complex. It's essentially about these two actors that are set on this telenovela and they're kind of figuring out each other, and they co-star alongside each other and then they end up falling in love. This book is so good, my friends. Definitely recommended. I mean, if you're looking for something that's quick and easy to read, very enjoyable, steamy, definitely pick this one up. If you haven't checked out my video where I actually review this book, go ahead and check it out because I go more into detail about it, but seriously, this is perfect for Valentine's. The second book is Call Me By Your Name by Andre Esseman. I mean, enough said about this book, okay? So there's subtle elements of romance in them, but it's definitely not what you would typically expect. This book is so good. The writing is very beautiful, and while it is a little slow paced, I will say that you just can bask in the beautiful words in this book. I also did film a reading vlog on this book, so go ahead and check that out. But I mean, absolutely stunning. It has Italy, it has good food in it. I mean, if you've seen the movie with Timothée Chalamet, enough said, right? And Armie Hammer. It's just overall a fantastic piece of art. Call Me By Your Name. This next book is called Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. And this book is so good. I read this a really long time ago, and every single time I think about it, it's just, I recommend this book so much. Essentially, it's about this young woman. I think she's on the coast of Monte Carlo. She meets this dashing man. His name is Maxim de Winter, I believe. She's actually a lady's maid originally and a housekeeper kind of. And he is pretty much swept off of his feet, or she's swept off of her feet by Maxim de Winter, and he takes her to be his new wife or his bride. They escape, or they go off to his estate, which is called Manderley, and at Manderley she is haunted by the ghost of his former wife, and his former wife name is Rebecca. So we have these weird, eerie elements of Rebecca coming back to haunt the new wife. Her name is never given in the book, so that's kind of strange. But yeah, the new wife's name is never given in the book, but we essentially are haunted by the ghost of Rebecca and the old wife, and The housekeeper is a little strange and dark, and it's twisted, and there's a lot of secrets going on. I mean, it's so good. There's a Netflix movie about this, and I don't really like that movie. It has Armie Hammer in it, and that other girl, I forgot her name, but I don't know. It didn't really do the book that much justice, so definitely read the book. It's romance filled, but it has a lot of like depth and ghost and secrets. So if you like that kind of stuff, then give this one a try. All right, the next one is The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. And you're probably like, Jessica, you've talked about this book over and over again. And that's right. So this one does have little bits of romance in it, but it certainly is not the focal point of the story. But this one just makes me really happy, and it puts me in a good mood, so I feel like it's a good one for Valentine's Day because it makes you feel loved. I don't know, just go with it. But this book is really good. I mean, this was one of my favorite books of 2020 that I read last year. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. The characters are so fun, so endearing. There's lots of great messages in this book. I'm not gonna like babble on about it because I'm sure you guys know what this book is about. Anyway, read it. It's gonna make you feel light and fluffy and loved, and it's perfect for V-Day. This next book is called Fingersmith by Sarah Waters, and I honestly love anything by Sarah Waters. She's fantastic at writing historical fiction, so if you like historical fiction, I will definitely say start reading Sarah Waters ASAP. But this book is essentially about a young woman. Her name is Sue Tender, I believe. She grows up as a young girl in a group of thieves, and essentially this book is about a giant coup of trying to gain this inheritance by this young woman. There's a lot of secrets, there's a lot of twists and turns and weird things that happen as Sue tries to gain control of this inheritance. Yeah, I will say that this book is definitely, it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. I mean, it's a long book. It's nearly 600 pages, so you may not be able to finish it by Valentine's. I mean, who knows if you're a fast reader, but I will say that this is definitely not your traditional story that has like man meets woman, they fall in love. This has a lot going on, but there is definitely elements of romance in it, and it's just going to keep you really engaged from beginning to end. The next one, and probably my most favorite, is Tender is the Flesh by Augustina Basterica. I always say the name wrong. But this book, I mean, are we surprised it's on this list? Probably not. This book is absolutely incredible. I mean, oh my gosh, it's so good, you guys. This is actually my #1 book that I loved the most for the year of 2020. So yeah, this is, of course, is going to be on every list. I mean, come on. This book is absolutely disgusting. It's gross. It talks about cannibalism. It talks about eating people and processing them and cutting them up in little bits and pieces. And you're probably wondering, well, what in the world does that have to do with romance? Absolutely nothing. So the main character, Marcos, develops this relationship with one of the humans that they use to consume for eating. It's an interesting story that really, takes a deep dive on the human mind, commentary on human cannibalism, the meatpacking industry, and all of that fun stuff. There's not a lot of romance in it, but it definitely has little bits and parts of it. I mean, most of it is definitely focused on the cannibalism aspect, but overall, this book is absolutely stunning. I think it's beautifully written. I mean, what better way to ring in Valentine's than to read a book about cannibalism? You know what I'm saying? Next up, we have Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. And oh my gosh, you can read any of these in this series and you're just gonna instantly fall in love. It's essentially about these two boys in high school that are figuring each other out. They have, they fall in love with each other and they deal with the battle of their identity with their friends, the emotional support that they have with each other. It's actually a graphic novel. Super easy to read. I mean, honestly, I think I read this one within like an hour, maybe even sooner than that. So It's an absolutely incredible graphic novel, really puts you in such a good mood, makes you feel good, and it's not like jam-packed with mushy gushiness, although it is very sugary and sweet, but I don't know, it just makes me really happy, and I recommend it. The next one is Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. I mean, come on now, you can't have romance without Jane Austen. I mean, right? Am I right? So this one is actually one of my favorite Austen novels. I absolutely love Sense and Sensibility. I think it is so complex. I think this was actually her first one. Yeah, this is her first novel that she wrote. I read this one a really long time ago in college. I took a Jane Austen class. That's why there's so many like notes. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's about two sisters who are trying to fall in love and figure themselves out. They're very polar opposites of each other. And it has a lot of flirtation, it has a lot of complexity in it, and it's overall just fantastic. So again, if you really like historical novels and you want to dip your toe into some Austen, this is a really good one to start. I mean, it's practical, it's easy to read in my opinion, and the film adaptations are really well done in my opinion. So, Sense and Sensibility, very, very good for Valentine's Day. Alright friends, so there you have it. Those are all of my personal romance recommendations, even if you're not a heavy romance reader. Again, I look at my shelves and I'm like, wow, I don't really have a lot of romance books, but I do have books that have elements of romance in them. See what I did there? So, you know, I kind of dipped my toe in both of those things. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. What books are you reading this upcoming Valentine's Day? What books are your favorite romance reads? Definitely drop a comment down below. I'm always open to reading a good book, you know, so even if it has love, I'm cool with it as long as it is a good book. If you like this video and you want to see more videos, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to my channel so you never miss out on anything. As well, please follow me on my Instagram so you don't miss out on any bookish posts that I create. I hope to see you on the next video. Bye!